Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Matt here. Welcome back to our channel. I'm going to take you for a quick walk and show you at the end of the last video. I terminated that video kind of finishing the floor inside here. It's not 100% finished, but after that, I went and picked up some of my siding steel. We worked on a little bit of siding. I want to show you that. After that is to measure up a couple of strips of wood for this floor and finish this up and get the wood stove hearth trimmed in, which I'm pointing to next to you guys there. And then after that, I'm gonna shut down the cabin for a day or so and go up to my shop and get prepared for this snowstorm. What I mean by that is I'm gonna put some tire chains on my tractor and get out my snowplow and my back blade and just make sure everything's ready to go. That's our plan for right now. Let me show you what we did to the exterior of the cabin before we come in here and take some measurements. Okay, you can see, actually I don't know if you can see very well. Let's do this. Our trail coming into the cabin is starting to get a little bit muddy. Again, this is January 1st. We don't have a freeze here yet in Michigan, and I sure would like the ground to get frozen, so it's just a lot easier to work on things. So let me back up here. You can see we got the upper peak area of the siding on the front. I've got this side was already done, you guys seen that, but I've got the corner piece on. You can't really tell because it blends in really nice, but the corner trim piece is on. Additionally, on this other side we have the same situation. Now I'm aware I still need to do something with this soffit, but I'm going to deal with that soon. But this corner piece is on. This siding is on. Let's back up so you can get a better view here, right there. So we've got siding on here. This is gonna be my access hole for the crawl space. We're gonna come back to that in just a second. And then on the back side of the cabin, the only bit of piece that I'm missing is this top. I need 2 more sheets of metal to finish this top, and then put the 2 rear corners on, and a few screws on the upper portions of the panels that are here. I ran out of screws also, but we're oh so close to finishing this outside. So unfortunately for me, the lumber yard's not open today because it's a holiday, so I'll be getting that done at a later time. But let me show you guys this real quick, what we've got going on here. Now I'm gonna make a door here. Right now I'm propping this extra piece of metal up with a piece of wood, but we're gonna have a storage under here. I gotta tighten this down. There we go. We're gonna have storage here if we want it underneath the cabin. But the main thing that I wanted is access under here. But anyhow, that's the scoop with the cabin as of right now. So as I said a moment ago, let's get in there and take a few measurements. seen me get the last pieces of the edge of the floor. Now we're gonna piece in a couple of strips here. Finish it on the edge here with a couple pieces of trim board that should come together right here. Put this in there too. There. So now we got a nice finished edge on my patio blocks, and I 45-degree mitered this corner, and if you can tell, I'm making a shadow here. I actually chamfered the edge of this wood too, so that you can see it's not going to chip up if you brush your foot against it or anything. So that's going to look real nice like that, and it's going to hold those blocks right in place, and it looks like they belong right there, which was the idea. By the way, anybody want to say hi to Monica? Monica's usually behind the scenes, behind the camera.
Doing all the hard work.
Doing the hard work for sure. I do the fun work, she does the hard work. I am liking where we're at here.
Bring the tractor. That's not what I said.
All right, everybody, it is officially winter in Michigan. So we've been down in the single digits. Weather's been cold. Yesterday was blizzard-like conditions, so it's kind of slowed me down this week. But we are at a milestone point. Let me show you. I've got all of the steel on the cabin now, so let's take a quick walk around and I'll show you. So we had the front on already. You guys seen that? We've got the corner pieces on. We're trimmed around the windows. Back corner's on. And the back's on. So I'm gonna back up here and show you guys a couple of goof ups that I did. So first of all, in framing, I don't know if you can tell in this video from this angle, but that bottom window is actually a little bit crooked. Now, framing this up with lumber that I cut myself, I've never done this before, I milled it myself, and framing this in, you know, I built my pole barn, but I've never framed a house or nothing before, so I'm learning as I go, and I'm doing what I think is right. But that window is a little bit crooked, which caused, if you can see, a few wrinkles in my metal around it, trying to piece it in there because I had cut it square, forgetting that it was, I guess I didn't forget, I didn't realize it was that much off. The second goof up is right here. You can see my seam comes along real nice, and then this piece right here sits up higher than the rest of them by about 1.5 inches. That was a mistake that I made in trimming the bottom of this window. And in order to make it work, I had to shift that piece up. The bummer was I had no other piece that would work there. So if I wanted to correct that, I would have had to go to the lumber yard and buy a whole new sheet of steel for $50, which that's fine. We're gonna talk cost here in just a second, but to me, this piece here still has a 2-inch overlap, actually close to 3, and it's 4 to 5 for these other ones here. So it's not gonna leak, it's not gonna cause any other issues. So I decided to leave it. The next thing that I need to do is build a door for this access. Right now I just keep shoving my ladder in there to keep it out of the snow. I'm gonna put a piece of J channel on the top just to trim it out nice on this side, and then probably just put a couple of boards on the back side of that metal to make it stiff, and then just make it where it screws in here, maybe even right on the rib, 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. If you're following this along, you remember the inside. Now I turned the stove. For everybody who voted, I think I'm gonna turn this stove 45 degrees because I like the way that it looks. Chimney's gotta go out here. I'm offset to here, so I'll have a piece that angles up here at about I don't know, between a 5 and a 10 degree angle, which is not ideal, but I'm willing to accept that in order to get the stove at a 45 degree angle. Next steps, insulation. I'll insulate the top. When the insulation's done, it'll be time to do the stove. I need to get the stove done so we can get some heat in here. I said we would talk about cost. Let's do that right now. Let me run back up to the shop and we'll take a couple minutes and I'll tell you where I'm at with cost for this project. Okay guys, so I said I would talk about cost for a minute. I've been keeping track of my costs as I go, and I don't have this itemized yet as to what everything is. I just wrote down the value of each receipt, and I've been keeping receipts, so at the end I can kind of itemize what cost, how much, and the different things. But as of right now, today, I have $5,632.78 into the cabin project. I have used quite a bit of lumber that I milled myself. I estimate that I've probably saved on the range of $2,000-ish probably by using that lumber. So if you're going to replicate this project and use lumber that you're purchasing with the high prices right now, you're probably looking at probably between $2,000 and $3,000 more than what I have into this project. So that being said, what is by far the biggest item of cost for my project so far? That is the steel roofing and steel siding and the trim pieces that go along with that. So the J channel, the corner pieces, the ridge cap for the roof. That stuff, again, I didn't itemize this out, but that stuff alone is between $2,000 and $3,000 of this $5,600 that I have invested so far into this cabin. Yeah, that's where we're at. So that being said, that is gonna be the end of this video. I appreciate you guys sticking around and watching. I appreciate everybody who's subscribed to the channel, and we will see you on the next one.